No pain, no gain. Alex ready to roll. Manila, Philippines. Filipino fans shouldn't worry about the fitness of the lone remaining home bet in the WTA 125 Philippine Women's Open. Alex Eiler assured everyone that she's fine and ready to battle in today's round of 16 after a right leg injury scare and a rousing opener win against Elena Chereva of Russia Monday. With almost 2 days to recover, Eiler returns to center court at 7 p.m. tonight against either number 140 Himino Sakitsum or number 204 Eno Hibino, both from Japan, in a fight for a quarterfinal spot. There was a bit of discomfort, but it's nothing serious. Physical pain is part of an athlete's lifestyle, said Eiler, who took a brief medical timeout midway through her 6-1, 6-2 win at the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center. It's a part of the job, so we have to find ways to best manage that and not let it affect us mentally, she said. Trailing 1-2 in the second set, Eiler left the court for 10 minutes, then came back like nothing happened, closing out her WTA number 163 Russian foe with 4 straight wins capped by a love in the 8th game for an electrifying win in only 76 minutes of action. In Melbourne, Coco Gauff folded in 59 extra minutes as Ukraine's Elena Svitolina set up an Australian Open semi-final against Aryna Sabalenka, while Alexander Zverev served up a storm to blast into the last 4. Belarusian world number 1 Sabalenka tamed 18-year-old American Eva Jovic 6-3. 6-0 in 38°C temperatures. In the evening, with the roof on because of the suffocating heat, 12th-seed Svitolina stunned 3rd-seed Gauff 6-1, 6-2 as the American imploded. Television images showed Gauff repeatedly smashing her racket in the bowels of the stadium afterwards. It was the sharp hiss of breath through clenched teeth when muscle screamed for mercy. It was the dull thud of feet hitting pavement long after sunrise had burned away the morning mist. It was the quiet click of a stopwatch stopping. Not at a record time, but at a time better than yesterday. Pain, Alex discovered, wasn't just something you felt, it was something you listened to, something you answered. And Alex always answered. The phrase "no pain, no gain" was stitched into the walls of the gym, scrawled across motivational posters, whispered by coaches with gravel voices and knowing eyes. To most people, it was a cliché. To Alex, it was a contract, a promise that effort would not be wasted, that suffering, when chosen, could be transformed into strength. Alex hadn't always believed that. There was a time when comfort ruled everything. Snoozed alarms, half-finished workouts, excuses that sounded reasonable enough to silence guilt. Back then, Alex believed motivation came first and action followed. But life had a way of proving theories wrong. The turning point didn't arrive with fireworks or applause. It came quietly, in the form of failure. It was the race Alex had trained months for, the one circled on the calendar in red ink, the one that was supposed to prove something. To others, sure, but mostly to Alex. When the moment came, legs heavy and lungs burning, Alex slowed. Then slowed again. Others passed. The finish line still came, but it felt hollow. The medal was cold in Alex's hand, heavier with disappointment than pride. That night, lying awake with aching muscles and louder thoughts, Alex faced an uncomfortable truth. Effort had been given, but not everything. Pain had been avoided, not embraced. That was the last night Alex ran from discomfort. From then on, pain became a teacher instead of an enemy. Each ache carried information. Each failure held instruction. Alex learned the difference between injury and growth, between reckless suffering and purposeful strain. The body protested, yes, but it also adapted. Grew stronger, faster, sharper. Mornings began before the sun. Shoes laced in silence. Breath forming clouds in the cold air. Some days, the road felt endless. Other days, it felt personal, like it was testing Alex on purpose. When doubt crept in, and it always did, Alex remembered the race, the hollow medal, the promise made in the dark. This hurts because it matters. Pain spilled beyond training and into life itself. Discipline forged in the gym bled into work, relationships, and self-respect. Alex stopped quitting conversations that were uncomfortable. Stopped backing down from challenges that felt too big. Learned that growth, in any form, demanded friction. There were setbacks, of course. Injuries that forced rest. Days when motivation vanished completely. Moments when Alex wondered if all this effort was worth it. But even then, progress was happening. Quietly, invisibly. Strength was being built not just in muscle, but in mindset. Pain no longer meant failure. Pain meant presence. The next race arrived on a morning that smelled like rain and possibility. Alex stood at the starting line, heart pounding, not with fear, but readiness. The crowd buzzed. Shoes tapped nervously. Somewhere nearby, someone laughed too loudly, hiding their nerves. When the signal sounded, Alex didn't explode forward. There was no need. This time, Alex trusted the wake. The miles passed. Pain arrived right on schedule, burning calves, tightening lungs, that familiar voice whispering, "Slow down." Alex nodded internally. "I know you. You're not new." Instead of retreating, Alex leaned in, shortened the stride, controlled the breath, remembered every early morning, every dropped excuse, every promise kept. Others began to fade now. Alex did not speed up dramatically, just refused to slow down. The finish line came fast, faster than expected. Crossing it, Alex felt the full weight of the moment, not just relief, but recognition. This wasn't about winning or losing. It was about becoming someone who didn't break agreements with themselves. Someone who understood that pain, when faced honestly, could be transformed into power. Later, metal warm against the skin, Alex smiled, not because it was over, but because it was just beginning. No pain, no gain wasn't a threat anymore.